All right, so we're diving into something pretty exciting today. Turning your passion, not just into a book, but into a whole series.
Multi-series, yeah.
And we're basing this deep dive on this awesome guide, how to turn your passion into a profitable book series.
Yeah.
And, it's got some seriously valuable insights, even if you're, not necessarily an aspiring author.
Oh, absolutely. It's packed with advice on everything from finding your niche to building a loyal fan base and even diversifying beyond just the traditional, book format.
Yeah, so first things first, finding that sweet spot,
Yeah.
where your passion meets market demand.
Yeah.
The guide mentioned some popular examples like self-help, sci-fi and romance. But ultimately, it's about finding what truly excites you
Right.
and what readers are actually looking for. What's your take on this? Have you ever spotted a gap in the market for books that you'd love to read?
Yeah.
Let us know in the
Yeah.
comments.
So I think that's such a great point. The guide really emphasizes the importance of research. It's not enough to just be passionate about something. You have to understand the existing landscape. Like, are there already tons of books on that topic?
Right.
Is there a unique angle you can bring?
Yeah.
That research can be the difference between a successful series and one that just kind of gets lost.
Absolutely. So let's say you've done your research, you found your niche. Now it's time to, build a series concept that will hook readers from
Hmm.
book one. And the guide talks about the importance of consistent themes and relatable characters, especially, for fiction. Think of it like your favorite TV show, right?
Yeah.
You keep coming back for the characters, A&D, the overarching storyline.
Exactly. The guide actually uses the example of a mystery series. Each book might feature a new case,
Right.
but the detective's personality, their quirks, their relationships, those are the things that keep readers invested,
Yeah.
in the long haul. And then for nonfiction, it's about creating a series where each book kind of builds upon the last, offering a new layer of insight or perspective on the central theme.
Here's where things get really interesting. The guide delves into the power of cliffhangers.
Yeah.
And they talk about strategically placing them to keep readers on the edge of their seats, desperate for the next installment.
Yeah.
Think about a book that really kept you hooked. What was it about the ending that left you wanting more? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your examples.
Yeah, what's fascinating here is the guide. It breaks down the anatomy of an effective cliffhanger. It's not just about ending on a suspenseful note.
Right.
It's about raising new questions, introducing new threats, or leaving the reader with this sense of unease, right? They use the example of the Hunger Games trilogy.
Oh, good one. Yeah,
Each book ends with Katniss facing a seemingly insurmountable obstacle. So you have to pick up the next book
we have to. Yeah,
to see how she's going to survive.
exactly. And speaking of keeping readers engaged, the guide also talks about interweaving storylines,
Mm.
especially for nonfiction series. Each book might tackle a different aspect of the main theme, but they're all, interconnected, creating this satisfying sense of a larger narrative unfolding.
It's like piecing together a puzzle, where each book reveals a new piece of the bigger picture.
Oh, I like that.
They give the example of a series on personal finance.
Okay.
One book might focus on budgeting, another on investing, another on retirement planning. Each book can stand alone, but together they form this comprehensive guide.
Yeah, I see. Okay, so we've got our killer concept.
Hmm?
We've hooked our readers with cliffhangers and interwoven storylines. And now it's time to get down to the nitty-gritty, like the planning and the writing. And, the guide is all about outlining, setting realistic deadlines, and breaking the project into manageable chunks. It even suggests using, project management tools like Trello or Scrivener, which is a fantastic tip for ANY project, not just writing.
Absolutely. Whether you're writing a novel or planning a home renovation, having a clear roadmap and breaking it down into smaller steps can make a really daunting task feel much more manageable. What's your approach to tackling big projects? Do you map everything out in detail?
I try to. I'm a big planner,
Okay, yeah.
so I try to.
Some people like to be more flexible. Let us know your thoughts in the comments.
All right, so we've got our plan. Now it's time to think about, how are we going to present this series to the world? That's where visual branding comes in. It's about creating a cohesive look and feel for the series, from the cover design to the typography to, the overall vibe.
It's about grabbing attention,
Yeah.
making your book stand out, whether it's on a shelf or, in an online marketplace. So think about it. When you're browsing for a new book, what draws you in? Is it the color scheme, the font? the imagery,
Mm.
all of those elements, they contribute to a book's visual branding. In this guide, it stresses the importance of consistency, across the whole series.
So let's break down what visual branding actually means. We're talking about professional cover design,
Yeah.
using high-quality images, choosing a font that reflects the tone and genre. It's about creating a visual identity that's both, you know, appealing to your target audience
Right.
and instantly recognizable.
Yeah, they give a great example of a fantasy series. Imagine like covers with rich, jewel-toned colors, intricate illustrations, and a font that like evokes a sense of magic
Yeah.
and adventure. All those elements work together.
And that brings us to the sometimes intimidating world of SEO, search engine optimization. Now, I know that sounds technical, but the guide breaks it down in a way that's pretty easy to understand. It's all about using keywords, categories, compelling descriptions
Yeah.
to help your books get discovered online.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Think about it. When you're searching for a book online, what do you type into that search bar?
Yeah.
Are you looking for specific topics, authors, genres? Those are keywords.
Oh,
And the guide really emphasizes using those relevant keywords in your book's title, description, and even in the categories that you choose when you're publishing.
so it's like strategically planting little digital breadcrumbs that lead readers right to your amazing series. But have you ever thought about how you discover new books?
Mhm.
Do you actively search? Or do you browse categories? Maybe you rely on recommendations from friends or influencers. Share your process in the comments. We're genuinely curious.
Yeah. So we left off talking about SEO, right? Using those keywords to make sure your books are, discoverable online. It's great to write an awesome series, but it won't gain any traction if no one can find it.
Right, totally. But let's say readers HEV found your book, maybe through that perfect keyword search, or a friend recommended it. How do we turn those readers into loyal fans who like eagerly await each new installment?
Well, I think that's where the real magic happens, right? The guide really emphasizes the importance of nurturing those relationships with your readers,
Yeah.
going beyond just, publishing the book.
Hmm.
So think newsletters, social media engagement, even creating online reader groups or forums.
Oh, I love that. Building a community like around your series.
Exactly.
Yeah, the guide even suggests offering exclusive content or like behind-the-scenes glimpses
Yeah.
to make those fans feel like they're part of something special. What kind of author interaction would make you feel more connected to a series? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, because building that connection can make all the difference. Now, each new book in a series is a big event. You can't just release it into the world and hope for the best. The guide digs into some really savvy marketing strategies to build buzz and drive sales.
Like pre-orders.
Yes.
I always get so excited when I get a pre-order book that I'm anticipating.
Yeah.
Do you think pre-orders are genuinely effective in building that anticipation and driving those early sales?
I think they can be incredibly effective when they're done right. It's a way for readers to kind of show their commitment to the series, secure their copy as soon as it's released. The guide also mentions bundling as a clever tactic,
Oh, yeah.
offering the chance to purchase the entire series at a discounted price.
Bundles are dangerous for my wallet,
I know.
but they're brilliant for boosting sales, introducing new readers to those earlier books.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're creating this irresistible package. And speaking of reaching new audiences, the guide also suggests collaborating with bloggers and influencers to spread the word.
Yeah, collaborations can be incredibly powerful. Imagine your favorite book blogger, raving about your series to their followers. That's huge.
That's huge, yeah.
But you have to be strategic about those partnerships. The guide really emphasizes finding influencers whose audience aligns with your target demographic. It's about reaching the right readers, not just the most readers.
Right. Speaking of reaching the right readers, have you ever been swayed by a book recommendation from an influencer or blogger? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, for sure.
We're always fascinated to hear how people discover new books.
I know I have. A good recommendation can make all the difference. But
Yeah.
let's shift gears for a moment. We've been talking a lot about, the traditional book format. But this guide gets really exciting when it starts exploring ways to diversify your series beyond just the printed page.
Yeah, beyond the book.
Exactly.
Think audiobooks, merchandise, even courses and workshops. It's about taking your passion and expanding it into new, innovative formats. What are your thoughts on audiobooks? Do you think they enhance the reading experience? Or are they like a completely separate form of entertainment?
Oh, that's such a great question. Audiobooks have exploded in popularity in recent years, and for good reason. They, make books accessible to people who might not have the time to sit down and read,
Right.
and they can add a whole new dimension to the story,
Mm.
with narration and sound effects.
Right. The guide uses the example of a thriller series.
Oh, yeah.
Like imagine listening to those suspenseful scenes with a heart-pounding soundtrack.
Yeah.
It just takes the experience to a whole new level.
Totally, totally. And then there's merchandise. I'm a
Now,
sucker for like a good book-themed mug or T-shirt.
no.
The guide talks about the potential of merchandise, especially for fiction series. Imagine having T-shirts with your favorite character quotes or
Mhm.
mugs with the series logo. It's a fun way for fans to show their love and generate a little additional revenue.
Absolutely. It's about creating a whole world around your series. And the guide, it encourages authors to think even bigger. What about courses
Oh wow, yeah.
or workshops? Based on the content of your series. Like if you've written, a self-improvement series, why not offer a workshop to help readers put those principles into practice? Oh, that's a fantastic idea. It's
Cool.
taking your expertise, to the next level,
Yeah.
creating that deeper connection with your audience. If you were creating a series, what unique extras would you offer to your readers? Let us know. Let us know your creative ideas in the comments.
Yeah, I think that's a great question to ponder, as we move into the final part of our deep dive. We've covered a lot of ground, from identifying your niche, crafting that compelling series concept to, marketing those books and exploring new avenues beyond the traditional format.
We've explored, the journey of turning your passion into a profitable series. So tuned for part 3, where we'll wrap up with some key takeaways and leave you with a final, thought-provoking question. Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive.
So,
Turning your passion into a profitable book series. We've covered so much from like the initial like spark of an idea to like crafting a compelling series, marketing it effectively. We even touched upon those exciting ways to expand beyond the book itself.
yeah, it's been a fascinating journey, hasn't it? What really stood out to me throughout this guide is the emphasis on not just creating, but like building a sustainable business around your passion. It's about, approaching your creative work with both enthusiasm and a strategic mindset.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's not just about writing a good book, right? It's about understanding your audience, building those relationships with readers, and offering them real value that goes beyond just the words on the page.
And this guide, it repeatedly highlights the importance of, planning, research, and understanding the market. It's about finding that sweet spot where, your passion intersects with what readers are actually looking for.
Yeah, and what I found really interesting too is how it encourages us to think outside the box, explore those unconventional avenues like we talked about, audiobooks, merchandise, even workshops or online courses. It's about finding creative ways to engage your audience, share your passion on a deeper level.
And what I find truly inspiring is that these principles, they can be applied to any project where you're looking to share your passion with the world. It might not be a book series. It could be a podcast, a blog, an online community, or even, a small business built around your unique skills and interests.
Yeah. It's about identifying that spark of inspiration
Hmm.
and then channeling your energy and creativity into making it a reality. Taking those initial steps, doing the research, connecting with your audience, and finding those innovative ways to share your passion.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with one final thought-provoking question. What what passion are you ready to turn into something amazing? What impact do you want to make on the world?
We'd love to hear your dreams, your aspirations, your ideas down in the comments. Who knows, maybe the next time we do a deep dive, it'll be inspired by one of your incredible ideas.
Keep learning, keep creating, and never stop sharing your passion with the world. Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.